Hey guys, my name is Anthony, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you episode 2 of my Team series. So if you want to see more gameplay on my team, I'm going to be publishing at least 1 to 2 my team episodes per week. So if that's what you're into, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So let's get into it. And as you can see, we're sitting here in our paddock with our logo, which may or may not look like a B, but either way, you know, it stands as a B for now. And we've got our teammate right in front of us, Sete Camera. So I didn't get the chance to look at some of the other stuff sort of behind the scenes in terms of the team, so I'll probably get to that at some point. But getting into the actual menu that you go into on race weekend, it does look sort of different, as I'm about to show you here. It does look sort of different, and I actually like the way it looks. One thing that you couldn't do in F1 2019 was change the session options and your assists during this sort of like section here, so it's nice that they've added that. It gives you the opportunity to just click into it and change the settings if needed. As you can see right now, I've got the AI on 103. I'm still trying to work myself up to the pace that I'm looking at, so hopefully, you know, soon I'll be able to challenge AI that's a bit higher than 103. I do play around about 105, but yeah, just to be safe, I've put it down to 103. Confirm changes that. Looking at the messages now, let's see what we've got. It's just the regular stuff that you'd usually get, but we've got these 2 new messages that you wouldn't have gotten in the last game. This is our drive. Okay, so this is where we're going to be choosing our rivals. Nice. I like the way they've done this. I like the new sort of design there. Right, this is our R&D tree. Now this is actually pretty interesting. I'm surprised that they've done this, and the way they've done this is our team is actually on paper already better than the Williams car, which is very interesting. Let me look at the history here. Yeah, I find that very interesting that we're already better than Williams. I would have preferred to be below Williams, just as a sort of literally, you know, rise to glory sort of thing, but you know, hey ho, we're already in 9th place on paper. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna treat this weekend as you would in real life, just to sort of get to know the car, and then we can sort of work on what exactly we're gonna need to upgrade. But just looking at the R&D on paper straight away, it does look like the main 2 things that we're probably going to have to work on is the aero and the chassis. So it's most likely where we're going to start, but we'll see what happens when we're going through the weekend. How this is going to work is I'm going to go through the practice sessions as normal, and there'll probably just be, you know, a 1 lap just showing all the different practice programs that you can do, and then I'll be back for the qualifying, which will be done live along with the race. So I'll see you guys then. Okay guys, so as you can see now, we're actually in the practice program, and as I said before, I'm going to make sure that this entire practice session is basically just showcased through 1 lap. So right now we're doing the practice program where you sort of have to just go around the track and try to get the highest score you can, basically just learning the track, and we did pretty well with that one. That was pretty easy because Australia is just one of those tracks that you pretty much learn. It's one of the first tracks that you sort of learn, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, coming into this practice session, I mainly just wanted to just understand how the car felt, and boy did I get a good understanding of how this car felt. Honestly, it just didn't feel good. Obviously I wasn't expecting it to be fantastic. I mean, it is just essentially a quicker Williams, but damn, I didn't realize that the aerodynamics and the chassis of the car were that bad. So as you can see right now, we're in the qualifying program, which is basically you just have to try and do the best quali lap that you can as we clip that curb and almost lose the car. And you'll just see as we come into this next corner now, there was just no downforce. The lack of downforce was definitely present, and it did catch me off guard. I'm not gonna lie, this whole weekend really was just a big mess, but I mean, it was a good mess, because at the end of the day, at least it allowed me to understand where the car was and where we can start working on the car, especially if we want to start, you know, sort of competing with maybe some of the teams above us like AlphaTauri later on in the season. So as we come into qualifying now, you can see we're doing our first lap there, and I actually end up invalidating the first lap just by going a little bit too wide. As I said, just the lack of downforce has really caught me out, so we decided to dive back into the pits and try again. And this lap now, the second try, we decided to be a little bit more cautious and we didn't invalidate the lap. So, you know, honestly right now I just wanted to really set a banker time just to really get a time on the board. So I wasn't really caring if it was, you know, slower than usual or anything like that. I just wanted to sort of just get a lap time in there actually. And you'll notice that I've got my face cam there, but I don't in the race. And the reason why I've got my face cam in qualifying, not the race, is because for some reason the face cam just stopped recording halfway through the race, and I didn't really want to have my face cam sitting there for half the race and then boom, it's gone. But anyways, getting into this lap now, and as you can see, I actually let, I think it's a Renault pass, I think it's Ocon, because I wanted to be the last car to really pass the line and try to get the maximum out of the track essentially as possible. So I'm going to leave you guys here with my final and quickest attempt at a qualifying lap in this Formula 1 car. So yeah, as we come to the penultimate corner now, you can see that my webcam is a little bit out of sync. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, so if you guys know how you can, how I could fix that, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm using the Elgato, and for some reason it doesn't record my face cam at the same speed as it does my gameplay, and it is kind of annoying because it's kind of hard to really sync it together. But yeah, we ended up coming in P19, so we ended up beating out both Williams, I believe, and then our teammate Sete Camera came in 20th place. So yeah, you know, our car is pretty much on pace with the Williams, and as you've seen there, our strategy is mediums to hards. I was thinking about doing the mediums to softs, but the game was actually forcing me to do a two-stop if I went on the softs, and I didn't think that the mediums would really last, so we decided to stick with the strategy. And as you can see here, we already started the race, but yeah, the AI really need to get fixed, to be honest with you guys, when it comes to the first lap, because these guys, they're really slow on the first lap, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the way that they programmed or something like that, but on the first lap it's really horrible and it really catches you out. And as you've seen there, Perez actually gave us a little tap as we was going side by side into that corner, and I actually didn't notice this until almost the end of the race. That little tap actually caused us to get wing damage, so for the rest of the race we were driving with wing damage, and obviously the fact that we barely had downforce on the car in the first place, yeah, this race wasn't really good, as we actually get a pretty nice move on Perez. But overall, this race was pretty boring. Nothing really happened, to be honest with you guys, because of that damage and because of the lack of downforce that the car really had. Nothing really went on except for me getting a bunch of warnings. As you will see later on, we did get a few penalties as we're coming into the final sector now of lap 1. I don't know, at this point I really wasn't thinking that much was going to come out of this race anyway, but the fact that knowing now that I had wing damage this entire time and I didn't even realize, yeah, it wasn't the best feeling to find that out. But yeah, I think we're gonna skip now to lap 6, I believe, when I get the first of 3 penalties, I believe. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 penalties, but yeah, we've got a 3-second time penalty because we went a little bit wide, and that was generally just due to the lack of downforce combined with the fact that we had wing damage. And I think I'm going to skip over to lap 13 now, or at the end of lap 12 when we decide to go into the pits. And yeah, you're actually going to see, I'm going to slow the clip down here. And what ended up happening is I actually just went through the MFD and I still didn't notice that there was wing damage there. As you can see, it's green, it's light green, and that's something that really should have been fixed for this game. When you've got wing damage and it's only a little bit of wing damage on F1, the team doesn't automatically change the wing damage for you. So because of that, I still had no idea at this point that we had wing damage. I thought that this was generally just how bad the car felt, and honestly my setup wasn't really promoting understeer. It was more balanced, and as you can see, we skipped all the way from lap 13 all the way to the end of the race, as you can see, because nothing happened until pretty much then. We finally caught up Magnussen, and because of the dirty air, we really just couldn't get past him. And I think it was obviously the dirty air, because the dirty air is more present in this game than it was the previous one, but just combined with the fact that we had wing damage and no real downforce on the car, it was pretty difficult to get past him. I think we actually caught him up on lap 26 and just couldn't get past him for the rest of the race. And as you can see, on track we do finish on P15, but due to our penalties we finish in P17, which is still better than I had hoped. I just hoped to finish in P19 at least, so you know, at least we got something out of that. We didn't get no points or anything, but at least we got something out of that, as Lance Stroll actually gets driver of the day. So I'm not sure how realistic that is, but yeah. The final results are Valtteri Bottas winning the race, and then you've got Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel on the podium, and then you've got Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen, Sainz, Ocon, Albon, Ricardo, Romain Grosjean, and then you've got Kvyat, Stroll, I think that's Antonio Giovinazzi, and then you've got Kevin Magnussen, Kimi Räikkönen, Pierre Gasly, and then myself, and then Perez, Sete Camara, Nicholas Latifi, Lando Norris, and then George Russell being the only retirement of the race. So taking a look now at the constructors, Mercedes and Ferrari and Red Bull are all basically where they should be, and then you've got McLaren, Renault, Haas, and then I think that's AlphaTauri, Racing Point, Alfa Romeo, then you've got ourselves, and then you've got Williams at the bottom. So hopefully, you know, eventually we can continue to scale our car and our team up the rankings there. And you can see now, this is basically after the interviews and everything that happened, basically just me showcasing the upgrades that I made to the car and me looking at some of the facilities for you guys, so that you can actually see how the facilities sort of look at the beginning of my team. So if you like this video, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I've just hit 200 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for showing your support and just hitting the subscribe button and just watching my videos. Really, it's really appreciated, and I hope that I can continue to improve the quality of my videos and just improve the quality of this channel in general. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.